YouTube, what the crap's going on? Heir of OTOMO here, and we are back in the Shogun campaign, and we have more guns on the way. Yes, look right here. 3 more beautiful gold accuracy upgraded Portuguese terços, and their lovely armor and firearms. You might say, Heir, this isn't exactly where we left off last time, and you would be correct. I have the episode last time, and I was actually just going to edit it, and it just wasn't very good. Like, it was just a whole bunch of me on the campaign map with 2 really lame battles. Like, the one battle was me taking, or defending a small castle in the same way that I did before, where it was actually this castle right here. The Hanma had a small force come and attack it. I just put my force on the opposite side of the castle, forcing the Hanma bows to climb the walls because they're dumb, and then I easily defeated them. So that was one lame battle. The second lame battle was, just like me taking over Tajima, and it was just kind of me playing around with how the AI would react to certain moves I made, and it was a really long battle. It wasn't particularly interesting. There was a lot of sitting around for certain troops while I tested stuff out, and the AI glitched around, so the battles were just really weak, and for a cinematic campaign, having crap battles doesn't really make for a good episode. Did I make progress? Yes. I took over some new territory, like at Tajima and Ewa, and then we also moved into Setsu, so yeah, I took some territory, but it was all auto-resolves, and as I got to the end of the episode, and then as I went to edit it, I realized there was just going to be much better action in this episode. You can see yet another daimyo, or this is the Shogun, coming out to face us here, and multiple stacks, which should make for much more interesting action. My force is castled up at Setsu, and I have reinforcements heading in. This is that other army that I had brought over, and then of course I'm moving further north, technically east when you look at the map this way, into Tango and Tamba. And then I had started, I think in the last episode, working on a new army, and that army is nearing completion. I have pieces of it marching, and I'll probably send it to Shikoku to start with, just to help finish that island off for us. And then, of course, I got a new Nanban ship, which is blocking entrance into this area. I've got a Nanban ship blocking entrance here. We do need to mop up this one, or these couple little fleets, because they could try and blockade this port, where I'm getting some trade income. And I have a Kono force bottled up in their own port, where they can't come invade me, so I'm kind of busy there. I can't really take my attention. So anyway, I have all my Nanban ships being used, and I still kind of need more, so I have one that's being recruited. I replaced the Nanban ship that was just stuck with this one, so it now has reinforcements. And speaking of, I'm probably going to grab a couple of Bokabaya just to help solidify that fleet a little. It doesn't need to be fantastic, but anything is helpful. And then, of course, I want to take over this last trade post down here as well. So anyway, that's all you missed. It really was nothing. Every battle was mostly an auto-resolve, and then we had those couple lame ones I mentioned that just weren't really worth watching. Which leaves us here, and I think it's time to end a turn. So I am going to do that. And yeah, I didn't want to waste your time with footage that doesn't really add any value for you. So that was all there really was to it. So anyway, yeah, there you go. I'm going to go back to episode 12, which should be my latest episode, and going to answer a few comments here while we're waiting on... Okay, so they did come and attack me at Setsu. Now, they're going to siege me, and in this game, you start taking losses immediately on a siege. So we'll probably want to fight them back, especially if we can get reinforcements in, but even if we can't, we'll want to fight them back. There was a couple of funny comments. Paul had a good one. It says, that ship isn't bugged. It's just been converted into a party barge with confetti cannons. You know, when you put it that way, it sounds a lot more believable, Paul. Now, this is going to be an interesting naval battle. Some of you might be like, I want to see this one. Really, the only thing that this fight is going to be is me killing the Bokabaya. Once that's done, the fight's over. These other ships will never board me in melee like they should. And so they'll never win. If I auto-resolve this, we'd lose, but I'm going to fight this. Again, I don't really want to waste your time with just the AI's incapable naval decisions. There's going to be something more interesting here I'd show you, but there just isn't. Alright, we were pretty able to take care of things. We did catch on fire once and lost some crew and technically a gun because of it. The AI had 3 bow kabayas. I sunk one of them before it ever opened fire. The other one got heavily damaged, fired a volley of fire arrows, and of course the very first arrow that hit my ship set it on fire, as is typical, and then it took me like 10 minutes to put it out, because also typical. But in any case, there we go. These Namban ships do better when there's multiples, or whenever they have, you know, the small Sengoku support ships. The next comment I had here was from Sanks. He says, "Attention all personnel, salt levels critical, imminent reactor meltdown, may Bale have mercy on us." Yeah, my salt levels do get high, and it's pretty fun. At least I think it's fun. Hopefully you all enjoy it too. It's mostly just meant in a fun way. Look at this army over here. There's like 3 guys left in it, and they damage every building in the province. As if the people can't put up a fight against that, right? Like, you're just going to ride into town. Let's go see how many guys they have. This is a mechanic that they need fixed. Speaking of salty, it's a mechanic that needs to be fixed. It's broken. It's not a good mechanic. And the ability to raid sea trade routes, blockade ports, and raid regions with like 3 people, or an old broken down, you know, bow kabaya is just silly and stupid. Look, this is, what, 1839, so it would be, what, 58, so 57. 57 men, a decrepit bow samurai archer, and a half unit of daimyo's bodyguard just walk into a town, burn it to the ground, and no one can do anything. Sure. I mean, at least it doesn't cause, like, real expensive damage to me. But the loss of that port did cost me, like, thousands in income. So it is stupid. It's real stupid. And, or not that port, sorry. It was the blockade of this port that's really costing me the other income. But it's dumb. It doesn't make any sense, and it's just not very smart or fun the way that it's put together. I don't like it. I think it needs to be corrected. You disagree, that's totally fine. I did not move 1 unit. I moved multiple units, but even the 1 unit, I'll bet we end up winning. Again, I send out a single Ashigaru unit, and it wins, but my town gets wrecked. Somehow this guy's still alive, too. I wonder if my other one can reach him. Probably not, but whatever. I'll pin him in back here so he's got nowhere to go. So now an even more decrepit force there. Whatever. Alright, let's move these ships in and clear out these couple of ships that were inside my zone of control here. I'm gonna quick save it. Auto-resolve. Yeah, it's pretty kind to us. And then that should drive that blockade off my port. I do need to heal up quickly, so we very well could have this port blockaded again next turn. Just frustrating, but, you know, given the current set of circumstances, understandable. I don't want to move this ship out of the way because it's providing a pretty important guard role here. So, since I've got this other one off, I'm just going to go ahead and repair these while I'm at it. Because we might as well. Okay, we got a few more assist boats here in case we run into larger fleets like that one. It's always good to have a few ships to assist you. I mean, the Namban ship is quite capable, but like I said, even just a few support ships play a big difference here. Okay, so some of these guys might sail on in and start to irritate me. We have 2 castles sieged, one by the Harakiyama, which was not a very intelligent siege on their part. My army here is going to start taking attrition if I don't attack. So I could wait for a turn and like get reinforcements. Probably won't take that much attrition. And if they attack me, I could probably beat back whatever it is, and that'd be kind of fun to have an epic siege defense. Let's see what we want to do here. I definitely don't want this monk hanging around, and I don't want this Metsuke hanging around. Suspicious Death. Was that Suspicious Death my extremely high-level missionary? By chance? It was. Yeah, that Suspicious Death was my, like, top-tier missionary. You know, what's funny, you all didn't get to see the last episode, but in it, I actually got pretty lucky with my agents most of the time. I was talking about how, like, dang, man, I'm on a roll with agents. Maybe I'm finally turning the tide in the agent battle. No, it's the AI turns around and strikes a blow to me and takes out an agent that I've had, like, since early on in the game. So, sure, whatever. Whatever. I need to get rid of characters. So that monk is very high level. If this is the guy that knocked off my missionary, I'm pretty upset by it because he is not very skilled. So that's just very unfortunate for us. Those salt levels that really 81% chance and we fail. Try again, 74% chance. I wonder what these chances mean. Like, what do these chances really mean? Because it doesn't seem to mean like actual success, because they don't usually make sense. Who do we have the better chance of getting rid of? 66 there, or 81 here. Right, got rid of another Metsuke. Get back up here. Recruitment. Replace the missionary, but I mean it's really difficult for me to replace a missionary that is that good. Going to see if we can cause a revolt here. Incite revolt. Excellent. So we've got a Christian revolt started here. That'll keep the Oda busy. This army will be in good position to go take Tango. I'm just working on trying to calm this settlement, really. Oshima is going to be pretty upset, so we just need to calm the settlement down. Alright, let's take care of our different actions. I think I'm going to wait for one turn at this castle just to see what happens out of curiosity. However, here, I'm going to take this army its entirety and quickly and easily, you know, get rid of this siege. We could also probably just come fight our enemies here, but I really would like a good siege defense battle to show you all, so I don't know if the AI will actually attack me or if they'll just keep trying to siege me out, but I would certainly like to see what we can do. We've got another missionary that we could recruit. Here. I lost a couple missionaries recently. Okay. I don't have any characters convalesce back here at the moment. Got our Tersos embedded in this army. Got my infantry corps moving up from Satsuma. And then I've got my cavalry corps moving in from Higo. And we've got additional missile corps coming from Buzen, so this army will be completely fashioned in about 2 turns. And in that same time, I'll have a transport ship via this Nanban ship to transport them around, so that will be good. Let's just save a little bit of money on this turn in. Let's see what happens. Though I probably want to go ahead and do some recruiting here. I'm gonna grab a Katana Samurai and a Bow Samurai. One bow. Let's go one Yariash here to help guard this castle for now. They'll be recruited in a single turn and kind of help hold it down. Let's take this army forward to Tango, where this should be a pretty simple auto-resolve. Yep. Public Air will occupy yet another settlement from our enemies. I'm going to tear down this armory, build better buildings there. Okay, I think this will work. Got a missionary that could help assist us over here. I've got this one. So I think that'll put us in decent shape. We've taken another territory off the enemy, push them back a little, and then I'm hoping that they'll actually come fight me here, but if they haven't done it already, they probably won't. If not, I'll just bring up my reinforcements and fight them on open ground and win. I could probably win as it is, but, you know, let's just play it safe. Yeah, now they're going to attack me because they brought up even more reinforcements. And like I said, this should be a pretty epic siege defense and be pretty fun. There are some decent bow units here. You do have to watch out from those when defending a castle. In fact, there's a lot of bow units. And the enemy can really pick at you with these bow units. The goal here is going to be obviously to try and lure the enemy into the waiting, loving arms of my Tersos. We're going to try and spread them out on the walls and aim for max damage. And then when they come up into melee, they'll be faced with the stand and fight general, the battle-hardened army that will drive them back. At least that's the hope, so let's fight this one. Alright, here we are defending the castle. I've placed my OTOMO Portuguese Tersos kind of all over this flank. And when it turns out, I couldn't see all these forces initially, but actually most of them deployed on the other side of the castle, but it'll be fine. I've got my, you know, elite melee troops over here, but it's going to give me a chance to do some testing to see how these Tersos perform in a siege battle where I think the odds are really stacked in their favor, meaning they've got good clean lines of sight as the AI scales these walls, and should be in a really good position to get a lot of kills. I haven't gotten to use these units a lot in a siege defense yet, and so I'm pretty much looking forward to this. You can see there are some Yari Samurai and Nagi Samurai coming over the walls here for the Oda, and they are going to just now be stepping into range of some of my Tersos. So they're going to get some devastating volleys in here. And now as my Tersos begin to open fire, I will use the, what do you call it, the rapid reload ability, and let them try and get even more shots. But you can see that there are some pretty devastating volleys going out already from this unit, which has cleaned up 41 kills in very short order. So these Yari Samurai and Nagi Samurai are taking an absolute beating. See, there's the rapid reload. And as they approach the walls, again, it's just good clean shots. Now, I didn't have any units right here on this corner, which maybe was a bit of a mistake. This unit is spread around the other corner. I do have a bow samurai backing up my Tersos just to add a little bit of range. But you can see that anywhere where they're getting shots, I mean, look at this unit already racking up, you know, 80 kills real quick. They have excellent line of sight all over a whole bunch of bow units. And honestly, if these Yari Samurai and Nagi Samurai end up in melee with my Tersos, they're not going to probably do all that good in melee either. My Tersos have insane melee capabilities. And I have a stand and fight general as well, who, when I give him the stand and fight click, does like a strange glitch where he gets off his horse and they start walking all the way out of this gate. I've never seen anything like it. So apparently I'm finding all kinds of Shogun 2 Sengoku Jidai glitches. But yeah, so anyway, my Tersos do very well. They get a fair number of kills throughout this early battle here. And meanwhile, I've kind of just, I decided not to use my Dunderbuss cavalry here because I was worried they'd shoot my own Nagi Sam. But I'm going to use my Nagi Sam because these are some of the tankiest units that I have. And I'm going to put them into melee against all these units coming in. There's a bow cavalry and some light cavalry, bow Ashigaru, Yari Ashigaru coming up here. There's a whole bunch of melee units coming our way. Katana and I believe Nodachi as well. Yeah, there's Nodachi or two mixed in back here. Yeah, I've seen at least 2 Nodachi Samurai at this point. There's some Katana cavalry that will dismount and potentially come over the walls. See my Nagi Samurai, though, also really quickly racking up kills. They're really not going to have much of a problem getting a lot of kills. There are some Yari Samurai that are, I don't know, the AI just isn't great. I mean, at least they didn't get stuck there permanently. They did pull themselves out of there, at least for a moment. I'm going to move some Tersos the other way. I've got a couple of them coming off the walls over here, but I don't really expect a whole lot more action. There are some cavalry parked out here, and so I do leave a couple of Tersos to shoot those cavalry down. And I'm going to go look for some opportunities on this other flank with them. See here that Yari Samurai decides to climb the wall. They'll get met by my Katana Samurai and get cut down. And then the Nagi Sam here are up to 120 kills and climbing rather quickly. And that's even facing some pretty stiff odds in terms of being outnumbered. But, I mean, they are just a really, really strong unit. I'm going to send some Katana Samurai in here, too, to help mop up. Alright, sorry, the game crashed. That's why you're going to see a bit of a difference between where I was at and where this is. I'm not really sure why the game is crashing, but I've had that happen a couple of times on this replay, and I've not really had a whole lot of crashes out of Shogun 2 outside of that. So, something going wrong, and I can't say I know what it is. It's happened a lot of times while I was zoomed up on this fight over here, so I'll stay zoomed out just for the sake of. But in any case, yeah, you can see that this is a pretty massive fight going on. The Nodachi Samurai have arrived. I'm putting in more Katana Samurai. So you can see I have a couple of units now supporting my Nagi-Sam. And after my general ran outside the gate, I did end up bringing him back and going into a stand and fight in the middle of the tower, or near the capture point, I should say. And it is affecting my units over here, albeit it's on the very edge of that range. Eventually I'll move my general a little farther to that flank. And you can see I kept a couple of Tersos over here to monitor those units that might start climbing. And then I've brought a couple of Tersos over this direction, looking for any opportunities. Like I lined this one up, maybe get some shots at this cavalry if it starts to climb the walls. General. Yeah, Yarikav. So bunch of cavalry still there. You can see that the melee fight is not going well for the Oda. They're getting absolutely slaughtered. Look at this, 211 kills by my Nagi-Sam, 50 on that Katana Sam, 16 already on that one, 117 on this Nagi-Sam. I think my Nagi-Samurai, for whatever reason, they just end up being more deadly than my Katana Samurai. I'm not really sure why that is. It may be their survivability with the armor. They just survive longer. And then you add that, I think they have higher melee defense by, yeah, a fair bit. And so it may just be that my Nagi-Samurai survive longer and get more killing done as a result. So yeah, my Nagi-Sam are usually owning in melee, and that's indeed what they're doing. See that the last bit of AI reinforcements is climbing over the walls here. So, yeah. One of their generals here getting shot to death by my Tersos. This is great. See him here running behind this wall for cover to maybe start trying to climb. They better hurry, because oop, that guy didn't run fast enough. Yeah, there's another one coming up here too, another general who's already taken some damage. These generals are going to have to try and climb the walls. Some of their bodyguard will die while trying. You can see that the actual general himself is climbing right here. When he gets to the top, he may not like the present he gets, and that's if he doesn't fall while climbing, which he didn't. Ooh. Oh, yeah, he's in the line of fire. He's already actually taken a couple of shots. Just maybe didn't die. Yep, there he goes. So, one of the commanders died there. I don't know if there's another one in this bodyguard unit that's still alive or not. I don't see one that looks like the commander up here. Yeah, these, these bodyguard units are going to be in big trouble because they're right in the line of fire of my Tersos. I think the Tersos may be a little blocked by this gatehouse, but I can't tell. It's not going to be good. This looks like may have been the commander here. I don't know. He's laying on his back, so I can't tell whether or not he has the little thing on his back. I forget what they're called. In any case, some of the cavalry got shot up here again by these Tersos. They now have 209 kills. I just leave them in melee, and then supported them with some Yari Ashigaru that was nearby, and it's going to go very well. The Tersos will really rip through most of these cavalry units, and you can see at this point there was a whole other army almost of routed troops that were coming back and trying to make their way back into the castle through this gate, but most of them can't hold together their leadership. And look at this, the Oda actually did bring some guns to the table. They brought an imported Matchlock Ashigaru, though it has not done particularly well. Looks like it's routing even, and it's going to route right towards my troops, and then they're like, you know what, maybe that's not the smartest direction to route. So at this point, it just becomes kind of a mop-up operation. I'm just waiting for some of these generals' units to die and for some of these other units to route. I'll go ahead and fast forward here just so you all can see what happened. The AI kind of glitched out a little bit here at the end. I'm going to bring my Donderbus cavalry and put them on the walls too, you know, just in case we get lucky. Their range is pretty limited, but if they get some targets of opportunity, that'd be great. Sometimes the AI has gotten glitched out like this in these siege battles, and then occasionally I've gotten them to pop loose. So like right here, that Katana Samurai was sitting there glitched out. I move this Donderbus cavalry up, and my guys are going to aim their shotguns over the walls and let these guys have it. Normally I would be a little concerned, though, about this Katana Samurai getting into melee with my Donderbus cavalry, but it'll be alright because their leadership is extremely low. They're under bow fire, then they were shot up with Matchlocks, and so I didn't expect they would last long, and they didn't. They're already shattered. And then this causes some of the other units to kind of unglitch, and the AI is going to start walking some of them forward. You can see here they brought a light cavalry in, and it got massacred, and then they're climbing some other troops in that, you know, that's the rest of that light cavalry. I don't know why they're climbing. They own this gate. You just walk right in. Not that it would be a great place to walk in, because you're in line of sight of the Terrasos bow samurai, and then if you stray a little too close, Donderbus. So yeah, it would be ugly, but they're going to come over here and start climbing walls. They've still got some Yari cavalry out here that haven't dismounted either. But a few more losses, and it's going to be about all she wrote for the Oda. They're barely holding it together. There were some reinforcements that came from this direction that are probably the only thing keeping the leadership in a somewhat normal state. I did send this Nagi Samurai down here to recapture the tower so he'd quit shooting me, but then I hadn't noticed all these units because they were stuck down here in the woods. So I hadn't noticed those units, and now my Nagi Samurai gets caught out a little, which is bad because there's a Kisho Ninja nearby, and so they're going to be in a bit of trouble, so I'm going to have to send some help to help bail out my, my Nagi Sam. Meanwhile, you can see the AI pushing forward a little more aggressively over here, and they stumble right into an absolute killing floor. See that very high position my Tersos have up on the walls? It is a commanding position. Just a beautiful show being put on right here, as my Tersos just get dozens and dozens of kills. This one's at 198, and this one at 330. So the killing is really getting going. My Nagi Sam out here got beat up pretty bad, but they were up to 300 kills as well. So I sent some Yari Cav and Katana Cavalry out here to reinforce them. However, there are some Yari Samurai climbing the walls, so I'm going to have to be careful with my cavalry. But I'm trying to give my Nagi Sam a chance to retreat and get back to safety. And then I'm bringing up Katana Samurai to come do some more fighting over here, kind of help back them up in their entirety. But my cavalry does enough damage that it starts to rout most of these units, and then their army routs as a whole. So a pretty awesome victory for us here. Look at this, 415 kills on that Tersos. You all see the rest of them out at the campaign map, 200 on another. So pretty darn successful castle defense. Finally, it almost brings tears to my eyes. That can bring you all the Tersos action that this campaign was supposed to be built around. 426 kills on one unit, 230 on another, 202. And then I had one Tersos that didn't get a whole lot of action where it was at only 23. But still, I mean, the number of gun kills in this video is beautiful. But it's also a testament to just how strong Nagi Samurai are. They are potent, like very potent. Sometimes getting more kills in a similar melee than a Katana Samurai. And I almost wonder if it's just their survivability is higher, but what a tremendous and fun battle. I've been waiting for something like this for a long time. Put up an epic defense at a castle and beat down overwhelming odds using the superior gunpowder. I must have another bugged fleet because they just sailed right through it. So that's good. I've got another Nanban ship that's bugged out because see, I'm just sailing right through its zone of influence there, and I'm going to lose almost all of my income because of that. So CA, please. I mean, that nuclear salt meltdown that was being spoken of by Sanks is going to be a real thing. And then I've got to deal with this, which is just another petty attack on my port. So let me take care of this one off screen, and then we'll continue from here. All right, I loaded an autosave because we know that when the fleet gets bugged, if there's another fleet sitting in front of it, it can still reinforce even though I can't move it. When I loaded the autosave, the fleet is already bugged, so I can't fix the fact that it is bugged, and I don't know what causes this or why it hits me randomly like that, but it is a real pain in the butt, and makes a big difference in what I'm able to do in the game as a result. So, I mean, it's pretty irritating, to say the least. Like I said, loaded the autosave so that we'd have that. The unfortunate part is that that negates the battle we just fought. So I know this is going to be kind of like Inception here, as we're seeing the exact same thing over again. But, as you all saw, my fleet glitched out and caused a lot of issues, and I reloaded, not thinking. And of course we had to fight this battle again if we reload. And so I was like, well, I mean, can you really ever have too much matchlock action? And this one's even set to a whole bunch of, like, thunderstorm going on in the background, so... And supposedly the rain makes a pretty big difference on matchlock units. So we'll see whether my matchlocks can perform similarly. This time I'm going to make sure to try and spread my Terrasos out a little better and try and get them in positions where they can really rack up kills. I want to see if I can challenge the number of kills that I got in the last one despite the rain. So I'm trying to keep a better eye on the way that the AI is attacking me. And we're certainly getting some assault here on this flank from a bunch of cavalry that's ridden forward and dismounted. You can see it is a Yari cavalry unit. I brought a bow samurai up, and then I'm going to spread out this Portuguese Terrasos very thin across this wall. I have another one here.
The enemy have taken the tower!
So yeah, this Portuguese Terrasos here is going to get a lot of kills. And like I said, in melee it's still going to be very, very capable, albeit limited in number, but they'll still be very capable. They're essentially like a katana samurai in melee. In terms of stats, like they hit pretty hard. And then they have pretty solid armor, obviously, because of the breastplates and stuff that they wear. This unit's already got 24 kills. Has managed to shatter a cavalry unit. And this other Yari cavalry is now in the process of receiving its comeuppance here. It's not going to go well for the AI. It is not going to go well for them. They are dying in droves. This unit's already up to 50 kills now. So they stopped and captured our tower with this Yari cavalry. Just to let you see what it's like trying to get to the wall, where you would even get the opportunity to climb up and fight with my Terrasos in melee, which would also be an unpleasant experience. Look at the arrows and the bullets flying down here. I mean, this is a nightmarish situation for any attacker. Like, this entire level of the fort is just an absolute killing field. And so another Yari cavalry shattered. Let's go take a look at the other sides of this battle. I ended up with some really good positioning here with this Portuguese Terrasos, so this one is going to be lined up on all kinds of Nagi-Sam and Yari-Sam that are coming up. See another unit over here. So these guys have a really excellent firing position. And they're spread out very thin to try and maximize damage. This unit over here is spread out across the wall. It doesn't have as much line of fire, but I mean, it's in a good position to still get some kills, and the roof is going to protect it from most of the bow fire. They'll take occasional losses, but between their armor and the roof, they'll be pretty safe. This unit here racking up 53 kills. This unit's got 90 so far, so more enemy troops climbing the walls, quite a lot of enemy troops climbing over here, so now this unit should be in a really excellent position to start getting some major kills. And this unit over here on the other side is actually starting to get a few shots in here as well. So the Oda are, despite the rain, which I was thinking, I don't know, maybe the rain will really favor them. Maybe this will be really bad for me. So far, it doesn't seem that bad. Like, maybe it's slowed down my reload a little, but my Portuguese Terrasos are not having any problems keeping up. Look at that, 116 kills. This one's already up to 31, and it's about to get a bunch more because of this katana unit, Dachi unit that just ran right in front of it. So, I mean, I am getting a huge number of kills. And like I said, and when they even make it up here in melee, all I got to do is just back them up with my own melee troops. So see my Nagi Samurai waiting right behind my Terrasos? And I'm going to let these units come into melee because some of my Terrasos are in defensive or they're all in defensive formation, so some of them will be able to keep firing because not all of them will end up in melee. So I want to leave the Terrasos, even though it's a bit dangerous, because I want them to keep shooting. 106 kills already, 158. One over here is at 193. And this one has 50 already, even with its limited line of sight. So, I mean, this is a full-on massacre right here at the hands of my guns. And kind of the irony of this is I think it was the Oda who, historically speaking, had really brought in the, however you say it, the arquebus, the matchlock, and they had put it to extremely good use in defeating the Takeda. The Takeda had these heavy cavalry charges that were absolutely renowned for their ability to break armies, because just the sight of this massive, heavy samurai cavalry charge would, you know, it was difficult to deal with. And I think one of the ways, if I read it right, that the Oda dealt with it was with matchlocks. So I think it's kind of hilarious that I'm giving the Oda a taste of what historically they supposedly put to use. in order to defeat the Takeda. Look at this, 302 kills on that Matchlock unit, 203 here. Look at the smoke pouring out of the Citadel at this point, too. That's another thing I love about this game, like the wind direction. You can just see the smoke wafting downwind, and it is just an absolutely extraordinary sight. So this is absolutely beautiful. This unit over here has gotten 295, and not a ton of more units in front of it, though, so I'm wondering how much further they'll be able to go in terms of kills. We've got 388 over here. We're killing over 10 to 1 with our Tersos right now in terms of their performance, so it's a pretty outstanding performance. This unit over here starts getting pretty beat up because it gets hit by a Katana Samurai pretty heavy. So I will eventually maybe have to pull them back a little, but they still managed 264 kills despite being part of those in melee. This one's up to 418. And the Oda are just taking, you know, atrocious losses to my Tersos. This unit over here is a little behind because it hasn't had as much action in their sector. But they're getting some shots in. They just hit 200 kills. 320 now on this one. So, I mean, we're talking well over 1,000 kills for just my Portuguese Tersos in this battle. So they are certainly quite capable, a huge player in castle defenses if you're ever playing an OTOMO campaign. Positioning some of these units strategically in certain castles could make a huge difference in your ability to defend a castle, because, I mean, you've seen what these guys have done. We had, I think it was like 2.5 stacks of Oda troops coming against us, and it really hasn't even been a problem, and that's mostly just been at the hands of my guns. Look at this, 481 kills. I mean, that's a third of a stack killed just at the hands of this unit. So, I mean, that is insane, and they've only taken about half losses here. They're not even quite down to 50% strength from where they started the battle at 88. So 500 kills to a little less than, or a little over 40 losses. So that is obscene, like the number of kills. Now, eventually I pulled this Tersos back because it was just getting way too wrapped up in melee. There was a general here, some Yarikev, some units that weren't going to route very easy. I didn't want to lose that Tersos and have to try and re-recruit it from so far away. This one's got 365 over here, and there's a few more Oda coming back for a second helping of searing hot lead. And it's not going to go great for them where it happens. These poor saps are getting used for target practice, and I guess the roof, I don't know, I'm just, you know, speaking kind of funny here. Like, I doubt it's actually a mechanic in the game, but I guess that roof is keeping our Matchlocks dry. Because it sure hasn't seemed causing any difference. Look at this, we're approaching 600 kills over here with this Tersos. I mean, very, very close to 600 kills. Then look at that Nagi Sam still getting in here, and even though I didn't even use it most of the battle, it's already picked up almost 150 kills. So, you know, I'm not really sad that I ended up having to play this battle twice, and I'm hoping that you all aren't really sad either. Like, it just turned into some more eye candy, which is what this campaign was kind of all about in the first place, was to get some really fun armies with some good eye candy in battle, and here it is. I mean, good gracious, look at this. Imported Matchlock Ashigaru. Yeah, it's 604 kills on one of the Tersos now. This one over here has 398. So now we're over 1,000 kills just between two of my Tersos. So again, that's 2/3 of one of the stack of Oda troops at the hands of 2 of my units. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. This general's got a second wind ability going on him right now. I don't know. Oh, the Great Guard gave him that. So they have a Great Guard because when you capture Kyoto, I think you get some Great Guard unit awarded to you. That is absolutely brutal, like the number of kills. I went ahead and slung this Tersos unit up on the wall here so that these routing troops might get shot a little by him and just try and chalk up a few more kills too. I don't know if it'll work, but it was an idea. Like, I'm really trying to farm some kills out to the Tersos at this point. So, another victory. I thought the rain would affect us a lot, but clearly not. Clearly not, because we got even more kills for our Tersos this time. Look at that one, 444. This unit managed to get up to 300 almost. So, yeah, my units were busy. Did y'all enjoy the bonus battle? Yeah, I guess sometimes bugs are good for something. They make me all salty and angry, but bugs can be good for something, because I reloaded and fought it again and didn't think that I would show you all, but then when I saw how well the Tersos performed even in the rain, I was like, man, we have to show them that one. So I am going to go ahead and quick save it here. There it goes. Got a quick save in. And now we should be able to keep our port from getting blockaded and losing all that income. Not that one, of course, the other one. Where our ship was bugged because I made that move. Helped. Is he going to get my missionary? Yep, sure did. So the Takeda are going to attack me the same as they did last time here. I'll have to fight this one and go ahead and knock them out of commission. Alright, another decisive naval victory for us. Can't say I'm surprised. It looks like our plan worked to keep our other port open because I believe it was the Oda who had attacked us there. Here comes the attack from Awaji. They have sieged Awa, but they didn't bring all their forces and just go for it. So let's go see what all's been done. We had our criminal syndicate sabotaged. We had an agent converted. And then the enemy monk was executed. And we have a blockaded port. So let's go take care of the several things which we need to take care of. Our army will take some casualties, but their army, I think, will take worse casualties while sieging me. So they can feel free to continue that insanity if they wish. Put this here. Let's get a church. Help convert this over, and then I'm going to put in a sword school. I believe. What do we got here? Confucian Academy. But there's a whole lot of point in repairing all this stuff based on what the AI is about to do to me. We need to kill this ship. Quick save just in case we get screwed. Nope. Shouldn't have. That gets rid of that ship that was behind us. We can now reposition here. Let's see. I'm one turn away from having yet another Nanban ship. I mean, for the time being, I'm just gonna leave the glitched ship here. It'll work, you know what I mean? Like, it'll get the job done. And where is it that... Why is my income way down? Is it just because I recruited so much new stuff? My income wasn't this low a couple turns ago. I made trade ports are open. Minimal rating at the moment. Let's take a look at the finances. One province, let's see, trade partner. Trade's only going to show if I'm trading with other clans though, right? Income from unsold resources, summary. I don't know exactly what's going on, but we'll figure it out. Should be safe there. I've got all of our different entry points here blockaded. We're gonna wait out the siege here. Hear that, horse breeders. I've gotta get yet another new missionary recruited. And then I've got these ones who are walking up from way back where. Very low chance of conversion here, but I feel like we should just take the chance. Because why not? And then I've got Ninja up here that might be able to do some work as well. Wow, see? There you go. Like I said, the chances really don't make any sense to me, but it works. It can work. I'm gonna try to incite some revolts to give the AI problems. Question is where to incite said revolt. This would be a pretty cool place to do it. We won't be able to reach it all on this turn. And if we sabotage... I think if we sabotage the castle gates, it'll prevent them from being able to do any recruiting here. And I could be wrong, but... Oh, we are not having the best of times. They don't want to sabotage these gates. I get it. They're nice gates. Well built. My ninja must be architect studies. There we go. Finally had one ninja who was willing to do my bidding. I think that will prevent them from being able to do any recruiting here, though I could be wrong in my assumption about that. Let's check out this missionary. Let's move him up. Let's see. So Inaba is now under my control. And let's take a look here. Tajima. So Tajima is going to be in pretty good shape, all things considered. This army... Now we have a bit of a buffer here with the Christian rebels, which is good. I've got a little bit of troops holding this castle as well. Make it a little more difficult for the AI to push back against me. I don't want to have a ton of troops tied up in all this because it can kill all my income. But I think we're okay for the moment. I think we're okay. Of course, that one turn I was out, AI did get in behind me. And here is a Chozokabe fleet with a invasion force, so it's a good thing we spotted it. Let's go kill it. So I will take care of this and then see you all back here. Alright, I actually did take a little damage on my Sengoku Bune. I didn't actually take any damage on the Namban ship, so that's frustrating. But there we go. That'll push back the Chozokabe invasion. Make them think twice before committing to that. Let's go take a peek and see where they ended up at. They are. I'd like to completely sink them. And unfortunately, again, this lets some ships through my little net here, which means that they can blockade that port. I'm gonna go ahead and end a turn here. Check out some more comments while we're doing this turn in. See what we run into here. So, finally got rid of that goofy Hanma invasion, which was kind of a joke to begin with, but there we go. Done. Let's see. Yeedy says you can try a mod called Master of Strategy. Interesting. Never heard of that mod. I'm going to continue my turn-in move here. Mr. Badwrench says during the battle you had problems with your guns not firing, maybe just a few firing because of weather. It's possible the weather was playing a role. Maybe the fog plays an even bigger role than I understand in this game. That's certainly plausible. It could be the explanation. However, and I think someone else made a comment similar to this, it does worry me that maybe that's not the case entirely. Probably to some degree it is. But I'm worried that it's not the case entirely because I still have all kinds of issues with guns firing, even on open ground, good weather, and no obstructions, you know, in their line of sight. So I don't know what to think of that. Again, nice call out. Curious whether or not it's accurate. Obviously, it's probably accurate to some degree because that's what it says in the weather conditions. We just don't know how much. Anyway, we've got another battle to fight here, so another opportunity for our Portuguese terços to shine from a castle defense standpoint. Alright, so we've seen Matchlocks in the evening sun, we've seen Matchlocks in a lightning storm, and for your third battle you're going to get Matchlocks in the snow. So it is Matchlocks, and more Matchlocks, but I mean this is an OTOMO campaign, so if you didn't come here expecting a lot of Matchlocks, then I don't know what you were thinking. So my terços, again, let's see if we can challenge those kill numbers. We got over 600 earlier in one of the battles, so let's see whether one of my units can best that. I think it'll be hard. There's a lot of Harakeyama here attacking me, but I just don't know if there's that many. So initially the AI is busy scaling the walls as they do scale the walls. This fort's laid out slightly different than the last one, but it still has some excellent vantage points for my Matchlocks to get a lot of kills. You can see Bow Samurai firing over the walls just to lay down some extra death into the enemy, and then my Matchlocks are really mowing down the enemy almost as fast as they can climb the walls here, which isn't really surprising. I've got the rapid reload ability going, which is also helping a great deal. And I have a whole separate Matchlock unit on this flank in case the Harakeyama decide to come around this way, but really the main grouping of kills right now is going to this unit, who's already cleaned up about 100. Now on the other side, I've got 2 matchlock units, one kind of spread across 2 walls, and then this one spread long across this main wall. And there's a lot of Harakeyama coming from this direction as well. You see, it's pretty much the same story, so not surprisingly, the Portuguese Terços are turning out to be probably one of the best siege defense units in the game, just because of their combo of armor, melee, and missile, making them obscenely good in these situations. The Matchlocks can be outranged by bows, so if you have a human player, they can pick at your Terços from outside of range. But in a fort like this, it gets more difficult because those bows have to do some climbing. And I do have a couple of bows of my own in order to try and slow that down. But I mean, if someone really brought a lot of bows and were smart about sitting back and firing, sure, they could potentially get you out of the defensive position, but it wouldn't be easily done. And certainly if you're having to charge into melee, I mean, just any unit is just going to take egregious amount of damage trying to get into melee with them in the first place. And then it's so easy for me to back them up, which, you know, I've already got Yari Ashigaru and a Nagi Samurai here waiting to back these units up if need be. You can see they've started climbing, which actually unfortunately did knock my Terços out of its garrison position for some reason. I don't know why it did this. I didn't actually give that move order, so I was a little bit frustrated by that. But they've gotten a lot of kills. They're up to 200 kills. Let's go check out the other side. 205, 6, 10. I mean, this unit's now in an excellent firing position. They're going to really be racking them up. I put an Inspire down on this unit as well, just to try and get it firing even faster, hopefully here. Reload skill is at 49 and the accuracy at 109. So it's pretty obscene. See the huge cloud of smoke too, as these units just don't stop firing. 163 on that unit, 286 here. So the Harakeyama, you can see just an absolute pile of bodies going here as they attempt to get to my Terços. Like I said, even if they get to me in melee, most of their units are not suited to fight me in melee, and that's assuming that they weren't going to be at an excessive low morale because of having been shot so badly on the way there. I did bring in my Nagi-Sam here to help because there's a pretty healthy Yari-Sam that managed to get a fair number of their troops up and over the wall finally, after just kind of swamping me with numbers. This unit still doesn't have a great angle, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it at the moment because AI is just not coming this way, though I may end up trying to reposition it over here just to get more kills later. Look back over here, this unit's up to 395, and they're getting a fair number of these in melee. There's a lot of bow Ashigaru units and bow units, and I was like, man, I don't even care if the bow unit comes up to challenge me in melee. They're gonna die. And like this one tried to get around my flank, so my Nagi Samurai did the honorable thing and welcomed them to our castle. And you can see the Terços don't have any problem cutting these guys down with a sword when they come up. Really not an issue. Oh man, I love it. How gorgeous is this? This game's absolutely lovely. Let's get some Terços cam here, so you all see it from their view. I love when the Ashigaru come up and they're just promptly cut down, like in one slash of my Terços. Like, get out of here. And they just start shooting again. These guys are just standing here like, hey, we just came to watch. You know, please don't slash me. I love the wounded guys, like, writhing around on the ground as well. How come that hasn't been a thing in Total War since Shogun 2? The writhing wounded was actually, yeah, it's a little gruesome, but it was a pretty cool addition to the game because, you know, it really kind of brought the battle to life. So, I mean, I'm not saying the game needs to have, like, you know, guts and everything pouring out. I'm just, you know, little touches like that are pretty cool. Look at this. We did pass 600 kills with this unit. I don't know how many more we're going to be able to get because they are routing, but, I mean, I think we are going to end up besting the number of kills by that other unit by just a little. This Terços was at 1 chevron, too, when the battle began, so they've triple chevroned so far. And remember, they were shooting mostly Ashigaru who are coming up against them. This one here has got 255 kills and climbing. This one's at 119. Just some generals who are left for the Harakeyama. So not much left.
My lord,
An impressive kill count, 374 here. So this one basically didn't get any kills because it just wasn't in the action very often. Certainly wasn't because of any other reason. Oh my gosh. Look at this murder. This one's going to pass 300 here pretty soon. They keep it up. I love how the enemy is routing into my keep. So, I mean, CA, please? Really? They route into the keep? That doesn't make any sense. But hey, my Nagi-Sam appreciate the action. Gives him a good chance to get an arm workout. A little face stabbing. And this game, you know, it's got its fair bit of glitches. You can see stuff glitching around here on the ground. Like, it's not perfect, right? But, I mean, when you're ignoring the glitches and stuff like that, it is a pretty game. Being that old. And, you know, I don't know what's causing the glitches, by the way. I don't know if it's the game, if it's my way my new graphics card interacts with it, or probably, who knows, but whatever. Still a beautiful game. Yeah, there's some glitchy stuff there, too. Oh my goodness. That's beautiful. 332 over here. Yeah, but let's see how long this general lasts trying to climb over the wall. Yeah, he's right here. There goes the general. He's up and over. Bow fire coming in. Now they're under matchlock fire. He took one to the gut right there. Took a couple more. Took another, it looks like. Yeah, he's taking some hits. I think it's just the fact that he's the general, so that your general doesn't die super quick. Right there, he may have actually taken a killing shot. I don't know, but wow. The OTOMO Portuguese Terços on fire. Look at this god rays and stuff coming out the sun too. That is looking good. See you back on the campaign map. Another epic defense by the Portuguese Terços, otherwise known as stormtroopers. Apparently, we got 633. 399, 345, and 166. One of our Naginata samurai racked up 235 kills as well. So I think the Harakiyama learned a quick lesson about how not to siege a castle, especially one that is guarded by Matchlocks. Assassination attempt. Their attempt. Port blockaded. Trade route raided. The port being blockaded is expected. I need this Nanban ship to ferry over my newly created army. This guy here. I think the only thing we're missing from this one is the Donderbus cavalry, and this is probably the reason why my income has gone down quite a bit, because this is a full army and a rather expensive one. And then also, of course, we had this port blockaded, which shouldn't remain the case over the next few turns. I'm gonna have to fight this real quick, knock them off. Alright, so that was another decisive victory for us on the ocean, and opened up our port. I'm gonna get rid of these extra ships that I don't need because it's just wasting upkeep cost. They are likely to blockade this port again on the next turn. So I'm going to just kind of park right here, because it'll keep ships from really being able to come in here, and it'll keep them from being able to blockade that port from the inside. I need to free up the black ship and its fleet. That's going to require a land battle for me to accomplish that. I'm going to quickly take this army and wipe out the remnants of the Harakiyama here. Should be little trouble. Decisive victory there. Cutting down all their forces. Cannot yet see their castle, so I don't know what's awaiting me there. I'm gonna wait one turn here and just gather our full strength. We need to repair some buildings here. And we're able... I'm gonna just, I don't think I'm gonna recruit anything there because I got enough forces kind of strewn throughout here. Ashigaru. I'm gonna disband some of these samurai units that were working the garrisons because I probably just don't need them all. I'm gonna keep this one for the moment because it's a lot closer to the front. This will give me a way to swing around in behind. Get in behind Shogun. And let's see, let's check out that army. I don't think we can reach Wakasa all in the same turn, so I'm going to have to kind of pull back there momentarily. I think that's going to be about it for this episode. I think we've done good. We've pushed back our enemies. We are in a good position to push on Kyoto. I've now got reinforcements. I've got 3 armies converging on Kyoto, and I've got a 4th army back here that is going to be ready to sail on the very next turn. So I'm going to get them on the ships. So should be a quick finish of Shikoku, and if Shikoku's finished, that means I can dump off excess armies yet again in the near area. So I mean, we're in very good shape here. Our enemies are in very bad shape. I've lost a fair bit of income over the last few turns from recruiting all this stuff, but as we conquer new territory and put in, you know, buildings and stuff, we'll start to gain a little. Like, so for instance, I have all these recruitment things here. I honestly probably just don't need this stuff. So I'm gonna tear it down. Agi Dojo. Yeah, I'm just gonna tear this stuff down and build some of the buildings that give me a little bit of monetary benefit to have in some of these settlements. So I think we'll be in pretty good shape here. Again, I've got another one here that has a whole bunch of recruiting stuff and replenishment that just isn't highly necessary. It's like this Yare Master Dojo. I'm sure I won't use it. I can put in a market instead. And so it'll give us an opportunity to start to get a little more income out of a few of these settlements. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. It was a good episode in terms of battles. Had some really, really solid battles I was pretty happy about. I wonder if my income went down because one of my trade fleets got bugged. Nope. No, none of my trade fleets are bugged. That's good news. It's just from the recruiting then, because we've got it freed up at the moment. And should be okay. Let's get back into this settlement. Alright, anyway, see you all next time. HeirofCarthage, signing out.